Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Mark here with the Bettor Mark. Let's get down into the exciting men's Final Four action we have tipping off tonight, 6:09 Eastern for the first game, 8:49 Eastern for the second game between Purdue, North Carolina State, and Alabama and UConn, right? So let's recap a little bit what's going on. In the last video out there, we had a very successful day playing within the Seton Hall championship round in the NIT, where Seton Hall was able to get that win outright, gave out a little sprinkle on the money line, as well as that plus 3.5 within Seton Hall. So that's one where it was a very good day. Had to take a couple days off within college basketball. So we've been focused on baseball as well as the women's ranks, where very outstanding performances last night by the ladies, where Iowa and the likes of UConn were able to tip off and see a great ending. Controversial, but albeit a great ending. And now this is one where, despite having the opportunity to have UConn play in a men's and women's college basketball championship in March Madness, we're going to see the chance to kind of have, a very, very good star-studded championship game between the winner of these two contests. And I don't think it's ever been done before. I talked about it in the live stream yesterday where we potentially, but now it's not going to happen, where we could have had North Carolina State and UConn playing each other in the championship, even in the men's game and the women's. I don't know if that's ever happened where we've had the exact matchup in the men's and women's side of the championship rounds. But fascinating stuff. Let's get down into tonight's plays. We're going to give you guys a breakdown of all the picks within these two contests, as well as what I have, what my bracket looks like, and my leans that I'll be giving you guys to go alongside my official plays. Okay, but that's what I got. Make sure you all subscribe down below if you have not already done so. Smash that like button and let me know what you guys will be betting in this exciting Final Four Saturday. All right. Also, we're going to be talking about OddsJam a lot here on the channel. You'll be seeing it using all my picks, using my promo code and my link down below, TBM. That will be your promo code to obtain a 35% off discount in your first month or annual plan, whichever you elect. Check it out, OddsJam, links down below. And this is where we're looking at these games. We can see North Carolina State, this number has crept down. You can actually find an 8.5 out there within Caesars. That's why OddsJam finds the best number available. And you can really see the discrepancy and the variance within some of those numbers. But we're going to be taking Purdue, okay? I'm going to zig a little bit. I talked about it in the live stream where I would be on NC State. I'm going to change my mind, okay? I'm going to change my mind. Despite me not liking Purdue, I just really think after seeing last night a little bit of how these games are going to be officiated, I think it's something where NC State, they do well, and they've been on this run in a kind of a conversely skewed metric, right? Teams that don't shoot the three-point ball well, they're beating, okay? And unfortunately, I think that luck runs out. I think that number goes back to a little reversion of the mean. And I think Purdue runs them out of the ball, the gymnasium, okay? That's just kind of how I look at it. I know the number's moving a little bit, but I think this is a buy low opportunity, and I think it's crazy to say that, where we could get Purdue minus 8.5 in that best number available. I'd love the pool for the Wolfpack, but after doing some diving into some of the numbers and seeing what NC State has done and not done, I should say, it seems more like lucky than good, right? I know you have to defend the three ball, but teams have been missing the three-pointer in this run more so than in the regular season. And I think where Purdue, the way they play and the way that they're going to have to do down low to keep Edey under control, it lends towards just the fact that if Purdue can make shots, they're shooting at an increased percentage than they're accustomed to. So I do like those numbers and metrics if we want to see Purdue taking them with a high number, 8.5. It is high. We'll see if they get it done. I believe they're going to win the game, just by how much is the question. So I've changed my mind a little bit. We're going to lean towards taking that Purdue minus 8.5 and the under 146.5 as well. I think it's going to be one of them things where they might try to slow it down a little bit late, but more so in both of these games. When I talk about the totals, they're just leans. I'm not going to bet them. I'm just going to bet the sides, just full disclosure. So I would just lend towards taking the under 146.5, the best number available. Okay. The next game out there is Alabama and UConn. That's going to be one everybody's excited to watch. I think both of these games have a lot of value. Okay. And then when we talk about Alabama, that's been kind of my darling throughout the postseason. Calling them outright a couple times. I had them in the Final Four. Full disclosure, I was not able to cash in on my bracket. Tennessee losing to Purdue really cost me a nice chunk of change within a smaller entry, higher ticket bracket, where if Tennessee would have beat Purdue, we'd be rooting very heavily for NC State to win this game, to win that hypothetical game that would have been between Tennessee and NC State. But we move on, and we live to bet another day. And this is where we look into this primetime matchup, 8:49 tip, Alabama, UConn. Probably the most excited I've been for a Final Four game in a little bit, right? The way Alabama plays offense, the way they get out and run, Mark Sears and their barrage of three-point shooters. If they're making shots, they got a shot, pun intended. But when we talk about this more and look into the Crimson Tide, I told you guys that I would be betting UConn until they lose against the spread within that number. As long as it was under 10, I'd be taking it, right? And this is going to be one of those games where I think we see, UConn continue their double-digit quest, despite maybe potentially being close. I think this is where they really get out and run, and if Alabama's just a little bit off, UConn is going to win this game again by margin. And look at some of the numbers and the trends and statistics behind this. Look at some of 10 straight NCAA tournament games, right? Winning by at least 13 points, including championship games. I mean, this is just fascinating. You can't even talk about how Alabama, what they had to do to get here. Firing back against Clemson. We can go in from, UConn able to dismantle Illinois, right? Who some people had Illinois winning it all with value and being the best team right now playing in the college basketball tournament, right? A lot of people felt that way about Illinois, right? A little bit close at halftime. Mind you, UConn shot a whopping 3 for 17 from three-pointers, okay? And that's not going to continue into this Alabama game. They're going to have to shoot threes to keep up, and I think it's where if Alabama's just a little off, you got to understand that UConn was able to beat Illinois by 30-plus points. What are they going to do to Alabama? So we're close to that 10. I'm still going to take it. I'm going to lay it there with the 11. If I got to buy a half point, if I don't get it late in the day, I am going to still do that. And I just will have UConn minus 11 until they let me down, because they've made me a lot of money taking UConn to win by double-digit margins. And I think today is no exception, despite me kind of internally rooting for Alabama, despite having that futures ticket on UConn. It's something where you really have to be able to separate, and put down the pom-poms and just root for cashing tickets, right? You got to separate, take the names off the jerseys, the logos, and you have to really have an unbiased approach. It does not matter who wins the game. You have to get that through your head, unless you just want to have fun with it and just root for your teams that you grew up loving. So that's kind of how I look at it. You got to take the names off the jersey. That's the saying I use, where you really have to put down your shield and just go by strictly numbers and trends and your research that you've done into the games, and not have a rooting interest for anything else but cashing tickets. So those are my official plays. Also lean towards the over 160.5 in that Alabama game. We'll give you guys a quick recap, but just official plays on the sides and a couple leans towards the over and under in these matchups. All right, I know you guys love props, so you're probably going to ask me in the comments, Zach Edey, can he hit his rebounds? Can he hit his points? Of course he can. He's 7'4". He's probably able to do anything. But jokes aside, I do see this potentially being a lopsided favorite blowout in both of these contests, albeit internally, like I was telling you, I am kind of rooting for NC State and the likes of Alabama, one of those teams to win. More so, I'd like to see NC State beat Purdue, but I just want to see a good game that really kind of put the dot on the I of this Saturday, where we have a lot of exciting action in all sports, as well as got some fun lined up for this evening with some friends and family. So all good things happening within college basketball. It's going to be exciting to see who's going to be matching up in the final game within the March Madness tournament, who takes home the crown, and this will be a very exciting ending to conclude the Final Four today as well. So make sure you guys all subscribe down below if you have not already done so. Smash that like button. Check out the link down below. Get signed up and onboarded with OddsJam using my promo code TBM. Links down below. Also, channel memberships. If you want to give back to the channel, become a member. We're going to be launching a Patreon and Discord very shortly, just to have more of an intimate approach and connection with you guys, where we can really share some stuff behind the scenes. So those are things happening on the channel. I appreciate you guys all rocking with me every single day right here on the Bettor Mark, and we'll see you all in the next video. Go cash some tickets.